What up? What up? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Jenny, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, peace and blessings. Always got to throw that in there. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. Like I know sometimes I might not come off the best on here, right? Sometimes I could come off a little bit ignorant. I try not to. I try to deliver it the best way I can. But it's like this, man. The one thing I don't like about this app, man, it's a narrative game sometimes. You understand? You got so many personalities crammed together and shit. Lisa J, appreciate you, appreciate you. Shout out to the Bushes. It's a narrative game, and I told people before that's how like a lot of shit starts on this app, bro. I don't know if some of y'all are aware. If you ever wondered why a lot of the shit that happens on here is because of narratives, it's because of people saying things without really checking the info. You know, uh, people throw subliminals and shit all day. You know what I'm saying? The best way to handle that is to have a conversation. But then sometimes it's like, you know what you was doing. There might not necessarily be nothing to talk about with some people because what's understood don't need to, you know what I'm saying? What's understood don't really need to be explained. And the fact of the matter is, when you got a person who's standing on the corner, right? This is an analogy, real quick analogy. When you got somebody standing on the corner and you got the hitman who fires a shot, right? And unbeknownst to you, you might not even know that they're getting ready to fire that shot, but you see it coming just enough for you to be able to duck, and that bullet hits the brick. And it's like, damn, motherfucker, try to take my head off. And you look at the hitman, and the hitman is like, what you looking at me for? Of course, that would be a sorry ass hitman, but people do hide their hands and shit, bro. I don't like how a lot of shit be happening on this app, man. People jumping out the window and shit like that. And I'm the type of person to say, if there ever was like something that needed to be said, I'm an easy person to talk to, man. I'm an easy person to talk to. You understand? So what I'm gonna do right quick, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me put this in there. Okay, that's the link right there. Should anybody feel like there's something that needed to be said, I don't care what it is, that they've been harboring, that they need to get off their chest, there you go. Respectfully though. And that's not meant for anybody. Because sometimes when you listen to people say things, you be thinking, am I tripping? Could this person really be talking about me? Are they referring to me? That happened all the time on here to the point where it's paranoia. Miss T, appreciate you. There's paranoia on an app like this because the blueprint of the beef, people throw shots and shit all day, right? They'll be talking about somebody, but then what happens is when they get confronted with it, they'll be saying, that's not how I meant it or whatever the case. But how you put it out there is how it's taken. You understand? Like, Angel Love, appreciate you, Queen, appreciate you. I'm the type of person that if there's something that I really feel like is needed to say, I have to say it. I have to get it off my chest. But I understand everybody don't handle it like that. People don't understand that when they get on these lives, man. I don't think they really be thinking about the shit they be saying, cause I don't really think so. When you say something and you put it out there for people to run with it, you really gotta think about the shit you say, man. That's why I say it all the time. A lot of motherfuckers don't need no microphone, man. I'm telling you something. A lot of motherfuckers don't need no platform and no microphone. Just little narratives and shit like that. People say these little things and all of that. And other people be thinking the best of them. Other people be thinking that they so cool, that they so great and all of this shit like that. But then they'll sit up there and really, Angel, it's really just a general thing. It's really general, but it's like this. If what I heard and what I understood it to be is the case, then they already know what's up. They already understand where it's coming from. You understand? You can, that, like, cause I can explain, where I'm coming from with mine. You understand? When I be telling y'all act accordingly, let me tell you what that means, right? For me, I can only go off of the energy I feel, and I can only go off of that, or off of things that, I can go off my gut instinct. That's all I can do. Now that doesn't mean that I can't be wrong about a person or a situation. You understand? But it's like then you're in a situation where it's like, would I rather go with my gut instinct and be smart, or ignore it and be a damn fool? You know what I'm saying? Like, the person in front of you could be yelling, "Yo, Bigfoot is behind you," and you might not necessarily turn around because, like, I don't even believe in no damn Bigfoot. But because you care about your health and your safety, you might, it's like, okay, let me just run a few feet ahead real quick, just in case Bigfoot try to snatch my ass off. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Bronze, what's up, man? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? But I put the link down there because I've had situations on here before. You understand? Shout out to my bro Dome, right? This is a time I bring this up sometimes because you see people like have fallouts and shit all the time on this app, and shit get to a point where it gets to a point where it can never go back. Once that door is open, sometimes you can never go back. But this was a situation I had with a brother of mine a long time ago, and it got to a paid place. It got to a place where it was just men and their ego. You know what I'm saying? And people saw the fallout before their eyes. And when we really sat down, it was like, this shit is stupid, it's dumb. This is just men being men at this point. You know, one of them situations where shit gets to that point, and it's like, when you really get to the root of it, it's like, that was so stupid. So what we did was we got together in front of everybody, and we kind of like killed off the noise. Like, yo, we can, because the type person I am, disrespect me in public and in front of people, that's how I'm gonna handle it. I'm still working on myself. You understand? If you don't, if you don't fuck with somebody, you don't fuck with them. Cause we all grown on here. Ain't nobody forcing nobody to fuck with nobody. You understand? We grown. Don't nobody owe nobody shit. Ain't nobody paying nobody bill or none of that. Ain't nobody sleep with. Well, I don't know about that. I ain't gonna go that far. You understand? Some people do be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But I'm just trying to put it the best way I can. You know what I'm saying? Without like going overboard. Because but I don't like when people try to like spread narratives and shit like that. I don't like that. You got to know what you're talking about. It's not just the energy you put into the air, but it's also the words you put out there. Like this, once you put it out there, it's up there forever. So you got to understand exactly what you're doing and what you did. And people get shit twisted on here all day long, bro. They get shit twisted all day long. You understand? But let the roles be reversed. Let their role be reversed, and they're the ones that's in that seat. A lot of motherfuckers that be throwing them shots and shit like that. Let that shot get returned, then they wouldn't be able to handle it. You understand? They wouldn't be able to handle it. If you shooting at this nigga with a 38 and he come back with a motherfucking chopper, then it's what is it then? A gun is a gun, nigga. Eve, what's going on? Appreciate you. And this ain't gonna be no long shit or nothing like that, but I try to be, despite what some people might think, I try to be real about shit. And I just put the even though I know damn well, because I'm still going back and forth with, am I tripping? Because I got sometimes I try to own up to shit. I try to take accountability. I could be tripping. Maybe I didn't hear it like that. You understand? But when you're grown, when you've been to school, when you got common sense and you understand how this atmosphere is, that's how people go about shit. But it's like this. I ain't never been the type of person to go and tell somebody, yo, don't fuck with that person. You understand? Like, you can't say shit like that. You can't say shit like, people say, swear that there are people on here who do shit like that. Sometimes when you see that a person is not really like deal with you anymore, it's because of the next person. A lot of shit like that shit is corny as hell. Nobody could tell me that I can't have dealings with this person for whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? I can understand where you're coming from. I could put myself in your shoes, whatever the case, but sometimes you gotta see shit for yourself. You understand? But you gotta sometimes you gotta do your research, fam. Like sometimes you really gotta, sometimes I see that them conversations really need to be had sometimes because when you get on a whole platform and you just make some shit up. You're going off instinct. The only thing you can do is go off of what you feel. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to check that shit at the door before you press that live button sometimes. You understand? When a motherfucker try to throw a shot and they try to like, they really try to like really cross that line, like disrespect type shit. And you be wondering, like, could this person really be, you know what I'm saying? So that link is there. I just invite the type of nigga I am. Is like I invite anybody who feel like it's something that might need. If it need to be said, if it need to be said to me, respectfully, I invite you to hit the link. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Anti, I appreciate you. Tamika, appreciate you. Trust and believe this ain't gonna be no long one. I ain't about to sit here and wait for nobody to hit the link or nothing like that. I'm just saying that if it's something that need to be said, then just say that shit. And I could have easily been like, oh, that ain't nothing or whatever, but I'm still working on myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't at that point yet. I do believe in defending myself. And I could be tripping at the same time, but you know what common sense is. You can only go with your gut, you know what I'm saying? Your gut instinct and shit. Let me see. Like you know how long like you can be too nice, man. You can really be too nice. And some people try to like downplay the fact that they might not necessarily fuck with you like that sometimes, whatever the case. And that's just real life. That's beyond the internet. But I'd rather it be known. I'd rather it be known. Sometimes it don't even need to be said. Sometimes you just walk away from a situation. It is what it is. You understand? But some people only understand ignorance, yo. Some people only understand ignorance. You try to check that shit, like it can cause you to make a mistake and misjudge a situation. I don't know, man. And trust and believe me, for anybody listening, this ain't nothing like too crazy, nothing like that. This is really just general shit right here. You know? Like this ain't no beef channel or nothing like that. This ain't that. Like I'm just saying, like when you listen to people talk, you don't know no other way to take it. It's like you don't even be listening for shit. Then you hear something, and it's like I'm not sure. I really could be tripping, but that's why I dropped the link because I'm like, if that can be said out loud on a platform, then I feel like it shouldn't be a big thing for it to be said on mine. That's why I look at it. But you really got to be careful. This is why I tell people act accordingly, man, because you don't want to be no damn fool. You don't want to be smiling in nobody's face when they really looking at you like you some type of sucker, like you some motherfucker they could run over somebody. They could just say whatever they want to say something about. I hope I ain't never gave nobody that impression on here, because I tell people all the time, niggas don't even know nothing about my personal life. There's a reason for that. I say that to say I show people what they need to see, what I want them to see. You understand? That don't mean I'm being fake or nothing. I'm just saying I'm acting accordingly. You know what I'm saying? What you showing me, I'm gonna show you what you show me. And there's always gonna be someone to say no, you wasn't doing that. There's always gonna be somebody to object to that, which is fine. But I ain't never. It's been years since I've been on some real bullshit on an app like this. It's been years, fam, because I understand where it could go, and I like my peace. I like my peace. You understand? At the end of the day, when you a grown ass man, it's like you're not gonna let nobody play with you. But you understand this nigga over here, he not gonna let nobody play with him either. I understand most people on the internet, they don't meet. That's why it's such of an entertaining app, because a lot of people on here, they don't meet. They met for the first time on here. Let's keep it real. A lot of people that's on here, the people that they cool with and shit, they probably would never actually deal with them in real life. Let's keep it real. I can say that. I'm pretty sure there's people who say the same about me. I know for a fact. No matter how honest or how good of a person we claim to be, there's always going to be somebody that throws smut on your name. It don't matter. These 10 people over here might look at you like you the dopest person in the room. You know what I'm saying? But there might be 15 more who probably got some of the worst shit to say about you. You know what I mean? And I'm not an emotional person or anything like that. I'm actually very calculated, but this is just one of them times where, let me see who in there. Yeah. But shout out to the Bushes though, because like I said, this ain't nothing crazy, nothing like that. I was gonna come on here and say something completely different. That's why I'm caught up in my words a little bit. I was gonna say something completely different. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go around, putting shit in nobody's ear. I don't go around like telling people business. If I had a conversation with somebody, I don't go around telling other people I had that conversation. There are niggas who do that shit though. You understand? People so quick to point that damn finger, man. You gotta check that shit. You know? And I ain't never gonna ever be the one. I can only speak from my experience. I can only speak about what I've been through, what I see, my own perspective, my own opinion. But I ain't gonna never sit up here and act like I'm a know-it-all type of nigga. Like I know everything in the world. That ain't my style. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully nobody got that about me, because that ain't, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things in life I'm still trying to figure the fuck out. I ain't never been no teacher, nigga. I ain't never been no role model. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been no hero, nothing like that. Shit. We all grown at the end of the day, despite the fact niggas got bills and uh mortgages and car notes and all that shit. We still try to figure out life one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what day might be your last. So it's like I try to put out the same energy that I want back, but also there are situations where it's like, okay, this is what I'm getting from over here. So I gotta return that or either walk the fuck away. You know? This is really general shit right here. But just let it be known, I ain't got no problem with nobody on here. I ain't got no problem with, definitely not no beef. Not on the internet. Like a lot of y'all call, the shit beef, right? This ain't beef when you're going back and forth on the internet. That's not what that is. It's not beef until you actually go outside your house and you might be concerned for your safety and the safety of the people that you care about. You can't call it beef unless you feel that. You understand? I don't know if any of y'all ever felt that shit before. It's easy to put off to other people on here that, you're this and you're that. I've been on this bitch for what, about 6 years? 6 years. I like to think I've always been the same person. You know what I'm saying? I tell people I'll leave the ball on your court. We going like I'm gonna follow your cue. Yeah, I'm gonna treat you with respect, you know? But it's like, is it a handshake? Is it a handshake, a hug, or is it a punch and a kick? You let me know. You understand? You know that person you got in the movies and in the TV shows that say take your best shot, but make sure it's but make sure you lay me out. I'm that nigga. You know the niggas, when motherfuckers be playing cards and you got the two people across from each other. The one person think they win and the other person already got their number. They already know they got them beat and they just waiting for them to make their move. Oh yeah, I'm kind of like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there ain't really much talking to be had, fam. But I'll never. I always say this, and I think. Let me see. I've been telling people this though, but if you're grown, you know this. You know damn well you don't want like somebody like smile to your face and shit. You don't, you know what I'm saying? No, who wants that smile to your face when really it's not really like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I stopped. Like when I was on here, I used to like be in chats. I used to be like, what up, bro? What up, sis? I used to use those words a lot more conveniently. I don't use those words no more. You understand, bros and sis and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get an AYOOO from me. Like, what's going on? Kevin, what's going on, fam? Don't take that shit literal. You know what I'm saying? You can only show people what they show you, man. But a lot of people on here fool too. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people on here fool. Like the people who y'all think, people be wondering about why certain other people look at them a certain way when it's like all you gotta do is really just look in the mirror, ask yourself, like, what have you been doing? Cause I know what I've been doing. Like I know for a fact I ain't never disrespected nobody. I know I ain't never crossed nobody. If anything, I was just moving according to how I felt I needed to when dealing with people sometimes. You understand? But I never looked at that as no beef or nothing like that. No. But you gotta be careful what you say, man. You gotta be careful. You really can't be nice to everybody, bro. You can't, I'm telling you. Just because people like disagree and can't come to an agreement, that's not beef right there. Tierra, appreciate you, appreciate you. I ain't like I said, I ain't saying too much. You know what I'm saying? But when you just listening to people, and you go back and forth, like, I wonder if that is like towards me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want to go back down that road on an app like this. I told myself if I stayed on this app, I'm gonna do something constructive. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something constructive. So that's when I started doing the battle rap shit. I'm like, I like this right here. Just keep me occupied and out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back into that soon. I just branched out from it because YouTube. But just be careful what you say sometimes. especially when you throwing out like a narrative or something like that, when you creating shit, when you on a platform like this, that shit is like the smallest narrative. You might not think there's really too many people listening, but people catch these watchbacks, right? That replay button is there, and more importantly, once you upload it, it's really there forever, unless you get rid of it or YouTube decides to get rid of it, or Facebook or Twitter, whatever the case. Like nobody's not going to agree with everything that you do or how you move. But one thing people can't necessarily say, but if people could say this, nah, he never disrespected me. I'm fine with it. I always told people, man, like, Amber, appreciate you. Angel Love says, I know that feeling, been there on social media platform. That's why now I stay to myself. Yeah, yeah. Like the outside world and our line, it can get intertwined and not in a good way. Not in a good way. I always told people, like, if you don't want to have dealings with somebody or you don't care for the next person, don't fake that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not gonna get anybody anywhere. You're lying to yourself. You're hurting yourself by saying to yourself, I'm cool with this person. And like I say, communication is one of the better things. It is something. It's an important tool to use because even in real life, that's how a lot of shit goes to the next level. No, no. By the way, if I got wrenches in there, I can go ahead and drop your chat and all of that. I really had something completely different I was gonna come on here and say. You know what I'm saying? This is probably not even something that I probably like leave up, but I know how this app works, right? I understand it. You disrespect a motherfucker in public, then you got to expect to be addressed that in that same way. I'm not a Bible tapper. I'm not trying to be saved right now. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. I'm still working on my shit, fam. Oh man. Appreciate you, Jenny. Amber, I'm not really saying anything. Honestly, it's kind of like a blur. I guess to sum it up, everything I'm saying basically goes back to what I'm always telling y'all. You gotta act accordingly. I know motherfuckers probably get sick of hearing me say that, but I be saying that for a reason. And it don't have to mean just dealing with people. I'm talking about situations. You understand? You gotta move accordingly. Hey, when the rent is due, you gotta move accordingly. If you ain't got that money, you got to move and get that motherfucking money. You know what I'm saying? If your house is on fire, you gotta move accordingly, and get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Grab the PlayStation if you can, but get your ass up out of there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just according to whatever the situation might be. And you just say you got me saying that now in real life. Yeah. But mainly, it's like just be careful with some of the things that be said up here, man. If this question's to be asked, then ask. But I would never jump I would never jump out the window with no parachute and then take what and then just blatantly like just make some shit up. I hope to God I'm wrong about that. I hope I'm wrong about that. Yeah, that's how a lot of shit start on here. I realized that when you are like respectful, when you are nice, and you don't really come off aggressive. I mean, people take that shit for, they take that and they run with it. But if you're around people, it's about giving people respect. You know what I'm saying? If somebody respect me, I'm gonna respect them. What I gotta be aggressive for? What I gotta act a fool for? For what? They ain't do nothing to me. People take that shit and then they think that I think sometimes you probably like sweet or something. Let's keep it real. They do, man or woman. You know how it go. But then they don't be understanding that that's what niggas be wanting you to think. So sweet and rot your motherfucking teeth. And just say, this is the only chat room I actually chat on. I appreciate you, Rachel. I appreciate that. You've been rocking for a little bit. You one of the few people that follow me now that know about like situations I done been in and shit like that. You know, I almost got up off it and I stuck around because I'm not gonna let a situation like this make me just say fuck it. You know what I mean? It's an entertaining app, but the shit is corny a lot of times, for real. It's corny a lot of times. You understand? Like niggas that do petty shit all day. Petty shit all day, you know? And I told people before, I got that petty in me. You know what I'm saying? But I hate to say this because people say this a lot. If I do something or I act away, then it's because I felt like it was warranted. Those people that say if I if I did something to you, it's because they if I do something to them, it's because they did something to me. And I'm one of those people. Like I had it in my mind to kind of like overreact when I came on here. That's why I'm a lot more calmer now. You know what I mean? But I don't yeah, I don't go behind nobody back and try to put like a bug in nobody's ear or nothing like that. You got grown motherfuckers on here. There are people who do that shit. And it's terrible. People figure if you rock with this person and they don't get along with that person, then it's an automatic. I be telling people this. Sometimes that's how y'all look at it, and that's how people decide if you're loyal or not in some situations. And I understand that, but when you're on an app, you got to look at what comes with a lot of shit that goes on. What happened when somebody actually, when it goes to a level where it gets like really serious? I see people take a lot of situations, a lot of bullshit for face value, and they're not thinking about the future. What about if this happened? I'm a ABCD type of person. I'm like, okay, what about this? What about that? You understand? And you have to, I mean, you just gotta move accordingly. When you haven't grown up with people like in real life, you only know what they show you. So I mean, shit. It's not saying that they're not a good person or anything. Because I've had people on here say, I wasn't shit. But those are people that I was beefing with. You know what I'm saying? But I think some people still think that anyway, which I'm cool with. Because any decision that I made, I'll gladly explain it to you. I'm always willing to have a talk with somebody about something they don't understand. Amber said, a lot of pettiness. Sometimes I start a life and realize how petty I sound. Start a live and realize how petty I sound. I just delete. I didn't even know you did content, Amber. Damn, that's crazy. I thought I was subscribed to you. I thought I would have caught. Damn, I feel bad now. He was coming in here all that time. I didn't even know he was going live. That's crazy. I treat each person on an individual basis until they show me different. Yeah, but the thing about that, Gay, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Um, the thing about that, the whole, I treat a person on, until they show me different. It's always kind of like it's always two sides to that, right? Because we feel like we're moving accordingly to what they showed us, and they might feel like, well, ain't nobody do nothing to you. What you acting that way for? Sometimes people don't understand that they might have been giving off a certain type of energy. Sometimes they don't understand. My bad, May Rain. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Sometimes people don't understand that you have that perspective, but that's how shit get confused. But I'm just saying, when people get on lives and they say certain shit, hmm, and say, no, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad, man. I like all that for real. Nah, but drop your link in the chat. Drop your link in the chat and go to places where I feel like it helps my thinking. Yours is one of them. Yeah, I appreciate that. Cause I just be going off the top of my head. Like I try to produce um content, try to talk about. I try my best to talk about shit that nobody don't really be talking about. You know what I'm saying? But there's like a million platforms on here, so I think everybody got something from somebody. You know what I mean? But I try not to sound too repetitive. I try not to repeat the same exact thing every day. Now you know how you got people who will get up here and they'll say the same thing every day. Like I mean every day. Like literally word for word, sentence for sentence. You know what I'm saying? Like don't really have nothing to really offer to the shit. You know what I'm saying? But then mm-mm. Anyway, I ain't finished reading. After that, I don't feel like I need to do a lot because I've already thought things out. Nah, I feel you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you popping in. You know, like I say, I ain't gonna be on here that long, man. Because, like I say, I was gonna kind of come with a different angle. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna come with a different angle. But then you know how it is. It's like after certain things that I've been through on here and in real life, you know how you huffing and puffing over a situation, and then you start thinking, well, maybe it was overreacting, but then you're not really sure. You don't really know. It's like picking somebody, trying to pick somebody out in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to be absolutely sure before that person is condemned. Shit. But other than that, the main shit that I always say, I'm always say, move accordingly. Um, if you don't feel like you getting that same respect from somebody, then you know treat them the same way they treat you. It probably sound corny to some people. It probably sound petty. Probably sound immature. I'm just saying you don't want to be no damn fool. There was a reason why you didn't. My next live is going to be titled "Realest." Really? Okay. And I'm going to tell how I got to where I am right now. Are you saying you're going to title it after me, unless I'm misreading? Yeah, y'all can But like I said, I ain't know you go live. If y'all know how to drop your links, go ahead and drop them in there, whatever. Because I'll probably delete this. Because I'm one of those people, man. Let me tell you something. I have to know. Absolutely like have to know that it is what it is. Like when it's an actual situation going on, I have to know before I take that step forward. Because the type of person like me, like if somebody, like when you playing checkers and shit, it's also it's about who get like the. No, I can't say that neither. I can't say that neither. I'm just trying not to sound too harsh about shit. It's all good, Amber. It's all good. But the main thing I want to stick before I doing this, I ain't never been nobody to like try to influence somebody in a way where it's like, yo, don't deal with this person, don't fuck with this person. That shit sound crazy as hell. You grown at, you know what I mean? Like there are grown men and grown women who do follow behind motherfucker. I don't get why they not paying your internet bill, you know? And I always have to use the app specifically as the location, like the focal point, because we're on the app, we're on the internet. But all this shit applies to real life too. It's because you inspired me to do something I haven't been able to do to speak on. Oh, you that's dope, man. That's dope. I never had nobody title a live after. The only time I ever had somebody title a live with my name in it is when they was dissing my ass. You know what I'm saying? So if that's you telling me, I inspired you to speak on here, that's dope. I appreciate that. I was just saying last night, if it had not been for like one person who don't even come on here no more, if it had not been for them, I wouldn't even be on here. I seen somebody who was, doing the content thing, and I literally looked at them like, if they could do it, I could do it. Because I didn't even know there was a community of content creators on here. I thought it was dope. I'm like, you mean tell me you can make videos about things that, about your opinions and, kind of like a video diary in a way. I thought it was dope. But then I just got introduced into some other shit that took like a year to shake off. Hey, Marlene, appreciate you. Appreciate you. But so I know sometimes people be listening and shit because they probably think you about to snap on somebody and shit like that. Nah, I wasn't gonna do that. I'm basically just getting across the point I always got across. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody would say it though. It's like if there's something that needs to be said, then say it. Because unlike some people, I've been on here long enough and I understand I know where shit can go. I fully understand it. People think that this shit just, it stays on the net. No, it can go offline. It shouldn't, but it's always possible. The possibility is always there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna delete this shit after I get off. But appreciate y'all letting me talk my shit. I definitely didn't have much to say this time because the whole point wasn't for content purposes anyway. But some people only understand ignorance. But the crazy thing is, the ones that only speak that ignorant shit, when you speak it back to them, all of a sudden they know English again. I'm saying is you just gotta be careful the things you do towards people, man. You gotta be careful with that. If you can't, you gotta be able to take it. You understand? You got to be able to take it. The most important part, when I tell people give and receive, if you can't, if you, especially in situations like having an issue with another person, if you can't receive, you ain't got no business trying to get nothing. So some people will take it beyond that. They'll take it beyond that. Amber said, after your live ends, you should go check out what's going on in Chicago. Live feed, guys. Kelly in the street light. We'll be back on in a few minutes to cover it if you're interested. Okay, okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. He was a J6 prisoner, the only black one in the DC prison. Okay, appreciate you. I'll probably check that out. Probably check that out. But yo, like I said, man, I ain't gonna be on here for too much longer. Um, I had it in mind to come a little different. Pause. To come on here a little bit different. But I'm just saying, it ain't always what you think it is. And even when you think it is that, and you got a problem big enough, if you feel like the problem is big enough to just throw it out there, regardless if you know the real or not, they need to address that shit. Get it off your chest. It always move just talking about how men don't get enough praise for expressing their emotions and crying and stuff like that last night, right? That was me trying to do something positive. I'm not a crier myself, but I do know that we do get flat for that. I'm not about to get back in that bag talking about that, but my whole point was how important it is to get shit off your chest. Angels say, whatever the situation is, whoever obviously didn't want to tap that link, probably watching in the bushes, but you're right, probably addressing accordingly. Yeah, that's all that was, man. Cause I really come from on here. I really started out on that side of this app that used to just tear shit up. You know what I'm saying? And I said I ain't doing that shit no more, man, because there ain't really no end game to it. And it don't be necessary. It really don't be necessary. You know, I've had the last time there was something that needed to be handled, it was the opportunity was presented exactly how I'm presenting it. It's like, okay, boom, they go to link. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will actually say, I don't got to say no names, some shit like that. I know for a fact I ain't got to say that. What time it is? Yeah, I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. But I'm gonna delete this shit because I feel like I got my point across. I feel like I seen enough. I feel like I seen enough of the numbers go up and down to where the message got across the way it should have got across, the way I needed to get across. I do appreciate y'all because no matter what I be talking about, no matter if it's dragging or not, y'all pop in and y'all listen to me talk, whatever it is I'm talking about. I'm still not even a live stream person like that. I don't really care to do lives like that. You understand? Only when it's really necessary. When I got something I need to say, I come on here and say it and I jump up off of here. You know what I mean? I recently started to refer to the people in the walls. You just have that voice, yeah. Yeah, people said that a few times, Angel, so I appreciate that. I remember somebody said they thought I had the voice for radio, right? And I'm not that much of a talkative person. That's the thing about it. In school, I didn't believe it or not, I ain't talked to nobody. They thought something was wrong with my ass. Appreciate you, Miss T. Appreciate you. I'm gonna be ending this shit soon. I mean, in a few minutes, actually, maybe in a few seconds. I feel real strong about a woman cutting a man down about him crying. Yeah, they out there, Angel. They out there. You know. But like I say, to anybody that is in the chat, if you should drop your link though, Amber. Cause that's crazy. I did not know that you know, did lives or whatever. I would actually want to be there for that one. The live you said you were gonna do. You know, cause I'm about to end this in a few seconds, man. But in conclusion, I will say this: people gotta stop jumping the gun. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers so quick to jump out the window, ain't got piece of parachute. Jump out that window head first. Ain't a parachute, ain't a fire escape, ain't nothing to hold on to. Jump straight out there, right? You gotta understand the facts before you just jump out there and shit. No, my bad. Notifications, y'all. Yeah, you know what you're doing. I'm pretty sure I got across if you saw the numbers go up and down. Yeah, And my goal is not ever to, I don't be trying to like throw no subliminals or like throw no shots or nothing like that. Sometimes it can come off like that. I think with anybody, because if you're speaking from your experience, you're speaking from how you feel about something, then other people gonna take it that way. You know what I mean? Like if you had an experience where you got, if you had a negative experience, you know, involving, let's say, a female, and y'all both got accounts on here, and you talking about females, and she can relate to what you're talking about, then yeah, she gonna think that you're talking about her. That's just an example. Yeah, but I am gonna erase this live. But if there's ever something that needs to be said to Realest, please don't hesitate to say it, because I'm actually a very good. I'm a good ass listener, yo, and I'm a very understanding ass nigga. You understand? Say, hey, appreciate you, Queen. Appreciate you. You know, I'm a very understanding person. Even if there's beef, even if there's an issue, I'm not saying that I got up here because it was beef. I'm saying I'm still in question on if I could be jumping out the window, because I gotta own up to that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I come from the side where it's like no questions need to be asked. No questions needed to be asked. If I even think that your ass was talking about me, I'm lighting your ass up. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to move like that, because that shit is corny. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through real shit Tay said, "Well, I got something to say. You got something to say? Bring your ass up here, and it's on you." I guess you bullshitting. Man, it's open for anybody. Yeah, appreciate you, Jenny. Appreciate you. I'm saying. So one more again, man. I'm extending the invitation the last time, and like I say, anybody at all, if it's something that you need to say, just say that. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Basically, you know what I'm saying? But I hate when you give that opportunity, and then, like, if you coming from the hood, right, and you tell somebody to address the issue they might have with you, but then you hear the following day that the person was still talking about you. At that point, they playing games and they really don't want no issue. You know what I'm saying? Which we all grown, so nobody should want no issue. You know what I'm saying? I know how to avoid shit. I know how to let shit go. But if I feel like you're doing it just because you feel like you can, then I might address it. And another reason I don't do those type of lives, like those beef lives and shit like that, because you feel stupid after the fact. That feeling I got when I was sitting up here getting ready to get in that bag, I'm like, this is the feeling I had that made me even stop fucking with that type of content, bro. I'm in there in a few seconds. Yeah, but I just don't want nobody to say that I ain't put that invitation out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to say that I was bullshitting about what I was saying. That's all. But like I say, I appreciate y'all for listening to me ramble and shit like that. Hold on. Yo,
What's going on?
what's good? What's good with you?
What's good?
Oh
Don't
shit.
test me now. I'm up here.
Don't what?
Don't test me now. I'm up here.
I don't test you. Nah, I ain't gonna test you. I ain't gonna test you. What's good with you though?
What's good? You
Nah,
sound
shit.
like you beefing. Who trying to get
Nah,
into it with?
nah. It's I wouldn't. I ain't gonna call it beef. Like what they do on here, that's not beef. That's not actual beef. But I'm just saying, you know how you be on these apps, and you know how like sometimes you can misunderstand shit. You know, I really could be tripping, but I don't think so because I ain't no damn fool. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make it clear anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on here long enough, and I know sometimes when you don't like catch on to something, when you had that small thought that was like, I wonder if, it was kind of that. So I just wanted to put that opportunity out there anyway, just in case, I was right about it. I was just basically going with my gut instinct, kind of like, but it ain't no real big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I say go with your gut instinct. Majority of the time, I mean, for most people, some people like judgment. I don't think is necessarily be correct because a lot of people be reaching, like really reaching.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you analyze the entire situation and you really think about it and it really does fit, I mean, it might be, and especially if they say name. Don't let them say a name. Then you know the shoe fit, and you know it's for you.
See, that's what I'm talking about, though. We talking about when they don't say names. You understand? But then,
Yeah, but if y'all been in a situation, like this is the thing. This is one thing too for me. Like you ain't gotta say a name, but if say for instance, me and you have been in a certain type of situation, say like just some this is just some random stuff I'm gonna say. Oh, we went to the store and the situation happened. And they speak on that situation of us going to the store. Like 9 times out of 10, who
right,
could that have happened to?
right.
It
It's like
couldn't have
who
happened
could
to
they be
nobody
talking
but
about?
go ahead.
No, I know what you're saying. You're basically saying like to bring it up. Like who else could they be talking about? That's what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Like who else could they be talking about? So if it's like in situations like that, it's like, okay, well, that shoe must be fitting for me. Like you must be talking about me. And to me, you ain't gotta say no name. I'm gonna take it as if you talking to me
Mm-hmm.
in situations like that, you know.
Yeah,
But
I don't like that that narrative shit. Like that's where I'm coming from because it's like I don't think people really be thinking about some of the shit they be saying. Let me say this: I don't give a fuck what nobody on here think about me. That's first off. Now that might sound ignorant to some people. They might be saying, "Well, you know what I mean." Some people take that as, "Well, you must not, like value the dynamic we have." No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if nobody don't pay my bills or anything like that, how can I let like other people's thoughts have that much effect on me from the internet? That's all I'm saying. But
it shouldn't, you know? Because a lot of people be sitting on this app and it takes over their whole entire life. Meanwhile, I could give two fucks about this shit. You know what I mean? This shit don't, like you say, it don't pay my bills, you
yeah,
know? So you got people that this is just their whole entire life and this is how they move and this is what they do. I don't necessarily, I got a whole life up out of this, by this social
yeah,
media, So I could care less.
be real shit going on, and that's why I can honestly say if this was if it was a couple of years ago and I got up here, it would have been a different, a completely different result. It would have been a completely different way of handling it. You know what I'm
Would
saying?
have lit their ass up, huh?
Yeah, yeah, something like that, something like that. You know, but it's corny. It's but it's corny because it's no end game to this type of shit. You know what I mean? It's not. Um, like I literally like had it in my mind to come up here a completely different way, but when people started coming in the chat, I'm like, I don't want these people to see me act no damn fool over something that I just, I'm kind of a different person when it comes to handling this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about positive vibes and I preach that shit. So for me to get up here and go the route that I really was gonna go was like, you know, I had to catch myself on the spot, basically. You know.
Yeah. That's the thing about this, you know, this thing is that honestly, it's like, man, people can say whatever they want to say, honestly, because it's no consequences to what you say majority of the time on here. Like people is not gonna see you. Some people will catch a flight and see you, but it's just a matter of it's a lot of research trying to figure out where you stay, all of that. You know what I mean? It's too much.
Now that shit, really, that's the whole thing, though. We in a time where that shit not hard, and it's not really not hard to find now. Like if you pay attention to some of these situations that be happening, that be like when they get into it, that be the first thing that's
Yeah, they want
exposed
to dox
about
you.
the person, the first thing that's put out there about their ass. Because even though people they kind of say that it's illegal to dox somebody, but the information is kind of already there, so it's kind of like really not. But it's more so the fact that, well, I didn't want these motherfuckers on here to know it though. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it's a violation. But because there was actually a time when I almost I almost took a trip on somebody on here this like some years ago. And see, that's the type of shit I'm talking about because like the people who are like throwing these shots and hiding their back and shit like that, they don't know how far the shit really can go on here. They think that they probably, they just don't know. Like you don't understand it until you like really been through shit. I know how far it can go, and I know there's normally no end game to it. You know, when you a grown man, like these niggas be looking stupid as hell on here doing the shit they be doing. Like even some of them like beefing with women and shit. You ain't gonna catch me on here going back and forth with a woman. That shit make me feel so small about myself. Stupid shit, man.
Yeah, that's another thing, like you said about the end game. It really ain't because I'm be honest, shit. I mean, people be having shit to lose now. You know what I mean? Some people do. So, it just depends on if you got what you got going on.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that preaching shit. You know, that's why I tell like anybody who be listening to me, like if you ever feel like I was a hypocrite or anything like that, let me know. Because despite what some people might think, I'm easy as hell to talk to. So I can take accountability if I fucked up or if if I came off a certain way. But, just be the hypocrisy and shit on here, man. Like but my main thing was this. The narratives, right? When you don't got your facts right and you don't come to the person and ask them or whatever the case is or get it out, then you got to be careful with that shit. It's not just the words you putting out, it's the energy you coming out. Because a lot of people, if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't be able to take shit like that. They would take it like 10 times worse. You understand? It's just it's corny, man. Like I feel stupid I even came up here for real, but I feel like my point got across to whoever it needed to get across to. So I ain't even gonna leave this shit up, honestly. I'm gonna delete it when I get off here.
What? You feel like that?
Yeah. I feel like it was stupid to come up here in a way, but oh, you mean about do I feel like it got across to whoever it needed to get across to? That you talking about that part?
I mean, I just either way, honestly, I just feel like you feel like that way. I mean, I get what you saying, though. I get what you saying because when you really get up there and you express yourself and you realize like, is the shit even really worth it? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? You get
yeah,
to really thinking like, this shit dumb as fuck.
yeah.
It's stupid.
You know,
So I get what you saying on that part.
people be
But
watching you
I
switch
mean,
back.
honestly, like I was gonna tell you, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Either way, I already said what I feel like I needed to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and anybody listening, don't think this shit like got me down or nothing like that. Nigga just tired and shit. I would almost wasn't gonna come up here, but you know, like I don't, cause like I say, I always be telling people, like peace and positivity and all that shit. Like there's other people who ain't pop up in here who might watch this shit after and be like, damn, I didn't know he was on that type of time. I started thinking about shit like that. And I ain't trying to be no role model. Don't get it twisted. But I've been through way worse shit than some rocks being thrown on a damn app. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if it's something that need to be said, then it can be said to me. That's all. It ain't that big of a deal. But some people they'll say, they just keep on with it and keep on with it. Then it's like, all right, okay, okay.
I feel like some people just be dead wrong on a lot of stuff. And then, let's talk about it. even one time there was a situation with you and I, and but like, cause I had jumped to well, I want to say
Mm-hmm.
this. I had jumped to the conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
but just for my situation, I did say I didn't know for sure or not if you were involved in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I jumped on the panel, and then I got so like I got to talking, and then you was in the chat, and I just got to. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. And shit just took over, and then I just kind of came at you or whatever at the situation. But believe it or not, like if you literally like if you go back and talk to these people, I literally said, I do not know if exactly he said this or not. You know what I mean? So I was just gonna kind of sit it out and wait and see if you really was coming for me or not. You know what I mean? But I just kind of like jumped on the panel, started talking, and then I just kind of jump the gun and try to. My bad. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of just jumped the gun and put you in it when my first mind was already saying like sit back, chill, relax. So me and you, but we went behind the scenes and we talked about it, yada yada yada, and got over it. But yeah,
Right.
so even me and you had a situation like that before, but majority of the time I try not to like come at people or put people in situations, especially if I don't know for sure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But even I got people that, you know, that think I was involved or I've done certain shit, but I don't even care, bro. Think what you want to think. You know what I mean? I don't care. Think what you want to think. Because I think what it all boils down to is people insecurities and what they got going on. Like it's crazy to me how people conjure up a whole fucking story in their head and swear you was involved.
Yeah. And, that's definitely, that's the side of shit that people don't see, when you brought that up. Like, it's easy to have a misunderstanding or some type of fallout, but, people don't see the part when the shit gets straightened out or whatever the case, which is why every now and then I tell people, like, like, I've had my times when I've, you know, had I'll say a petty back and forth with somebody that I was cool with. And then it's like we had to like get on a panel and show people, okay, you seen us going at it this way. So y'all probably thinking, oh, these motherfuckers, they beefing, they corny, whatever. So we gonna straighten it out in front of them so that they know everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, this would be crazy as hell, man. So that's why I try not to really like come on here too much. You know what I'm saying? But then I be thinking like, hold up, I paid for this motherfucking stream yard. I mean, I gotta pop up on this bitch sometimes. That's just you know what I'm saying? Shit.
You gotta pop out, show out. No, I get what you saying though. Man, the internet is a love and hate situation. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's definitely a love or hate. It's great because you can reach people from all over the world, but it's definitely, it's crazy because people begin to gain this perception about you, and that might not even be you, and
Uh-huh.
people have their own mind and start just make up all kind of crazy shit. And it's just I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy what goes on.
That's just it right there. That's what I was saying earlier. I'm like, if you got a person who might take a small narrative, it might not mean shit to you for real. But when you on a platform like this, it's like a snowball. That shit start rolling downhill, get bigger and bigger. Before you know it, a whole group of people might have been looking at you a certain way because of what one person was saying. And even though you really don't care what they think, sometimes It's the principle. That's the only other way I could put it. For me, it's really the principle. Some people say things because they feel like they can't, because they feel, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. Everybody is like on different sides of the world and shit like that. That's why a lot of these situations play out. That's why they can do the things they do. Nobody's really coming into contact with anybody um offline or whatever to really like handle that, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because communication can solve a lot of shit. But
But that's the thing though, realist is like sometimes some people don't want to keep it real or they don't want to communicate. They want to stir up. That's the whole point. You
mhm,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes people don't want to come to you. They don't want to talk about it because all along they was a hater to begin with.
mm,
So they was just trying to find something to hate on. So now it's like, oh, you said something or a situation happened, and it's like, oh, yeah, now I can pick at this situation. And, like, hey, I don't know. People is weird, but that happens. And it's like, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to have a conversation with you. They don't want to straighten it out. Why? Because they don't like you or they
yeah.
want to be a hater. You know what I mean? Like
I
people
felt
be having their agendas and be feeling some type of way. You be sitting here chilling, thinking shit cool, and meanwhile, this whole person is feeling insecure and hating on you the whole entire time. And it's
mm,
you know,
mm, mm, mm. I felt that one.
man, I'm telling you, this shit is weird.
It's a shame. It's a that shit is a crying shame, you know. And sometimes when when they really be feeling that way, like towards somebody, whatever, a lot of people think they be hiding that shit well, but they really don't be hiding that shit. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't.
And when they see, and then when somebody makes a move to like, okay, I kind of like see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when they really start like putting their foot forward. So once you see that, it's like, yeah, it wasn't really no we wasn't really cool or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you fall out with somebody and they just start like bringing up mad personal shit or whatever the case, it's like, well, damn, you couldn't really fuck with me that much if you that. You mean tell me we just fell out? You already throwing that shit out there? That's my business and shit. Shit, like,
Right.
you know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. That's what I'm like. They never was a friend. They always was a hater. Like this is the thing is like I never got is like if we cool and then we fall out and if we fall out, you immediately like you don't want to fuck with me no more. Especially if I ain't done nothing just like crucial, like
Mm-hmm.
detrimental. You know what I mean? Like you mean to tell me that we can't talk about and have a conversation and solve the situation?
It be past that shit. It really be past.
It be because no, they already a hater, bruh. They already a hater. And they just been trying to find something and they been ready. They been waiting. And so that situation came about and it's like, yeah, this my time. You know what I mean? I done found something now. I'm supposed to just hate on it. I'm just, ain't no resolution. Like I look at it's weird to me how I can be like we can literally I can be friends with somebody and we get into it or we get into a we get into an argument and then like you don't want to talk to me no more. That's weird to me. I'm gonna be honest. Especially if I ain't done nothing like really, really, really wrong. Like I can see there's boundaries for some people. There is. But I believe people do need grace. There's people where we all mess up. And for somebody to come back and say, you know what, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. And then for you to be like, you don't you don't want to fuck with me, you know what? That shit weird. Cause to me it's like, what's your agenda? What was your agenda?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
what you feel about that? Am I right? Like, how do you feel about that?
No,
That shit be weird.
I hear exactly what you're saying. But as you were saying it, I was also, I think I had said this earlier. Let me see if I could reiterate it the way I did earlier. Like I also understand that my bad. Appreciate you, Shay. Appreciate you. Peace, peace. Um, like everybody has their own perspective. Everybody has their own feelings about shit. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what the case is, we think the way we feel and
Hey, Shay. I
the
didn't
way
know
we're
she was in here.
reacting to it, we think we're going about it the right way. You know, that person, they might feel like they're handling it their way too. You understand? There could be some inconsistencies or whatever the case, but different from that, this just like you say, it just go back. It really go back to that hating shit for me because I kind of like been saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could just tell. Like you ever been around somebody and it's like no matter what you say, they kind of like downplay it, and they, you know what I'm saying? They downplay like everything you say, and it's just always negative. It's just negative at certain points, and there's no humor behind it. So you start to really wonder like why would they say, why would they say something like that? Like, why would they respond like that? You start wondering, like, I don't know, what's the real feeling there? Like I said, it goes back to like people are not really good hiders and shit. They don't really know how to hide. Maybe they don't mean to, which that makes perfect for me because I tell people, let me know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can have a conversation and we can get past it if that's the case. But let's keep it 100. A lot of situations ain't even worth getting past because what do they say? Some people come for what? A season or some shit like that. Whatever that saying is. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You really wasn't meant
You're a
to.
hater. If you're downplaying everything, you're a hater to me.
Yeah, and it's like you.
I'm just saying, you're a hater if you're downplaying everything.
It's
There's
like
a way to say certain things.
you just. Yeah, yeah, I don't understand that. Like making them type of jokes where only they laughing at. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not laughing at that. Like I don't know if that was a shot. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Like trying
You
to
know?
make you feel less than.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you a motherfucking hater. You're a hater. You trying to belittle me to big up you, to make you feel better like
Mm-hmm.
you're better than me. Like, no, motherfucker. No. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. You're a hater.
Yeah,
Period. That's just what it is. Because if you have to put me down to make yourself feel good, to pick yourself up, you're a hater. Why do you have to put me down to make you feel good? You shouldn't have to put me down. You should automatically put yourself up or make yourself feel good just because. You don't need to put me down. That's just like when people having conversations and then they like put other people down to try to talk about their conversation. You don't have to do that. Just prove your point and talk about what you want to talk about. You don't have to put anybody else down in the middle of your conversation.
yeah, yeah. That shit is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like
And speaking about Shay, like when people overlook comments, I mean, I don't that is a little sketchy because sometimes depending on what people doing, like when you sometimes when you and some people live, some people just don't look at comments. I'm gonna be honest, some people don't because it kind of messes up with their train of thought when they are talking and stuff like that.
it do for me. I
So
ain't gonna lie.
yeah, and I know it does for me too, because when you want to get a point across and then you got people typing in the chat, you want to acknowledge everybody in the chat, but then at the same time, you trying to get your point across as well. So it's like that situation is kind of sticky, but I do understand what you're saying because to um it just depends, what type of person this person is, do they normally speak to people in the chat, do they don't, that's a sketchy situation. But for me, I know sometimes if I'm being overlooked, especially a lot, and I know this person kind of looks in the chat and they speak to people a lot, to me I probably just leave. I ain't even gonna come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you don't, like, I know some people, especially if you ain't got a lot of people in your chat and your chat just not running like that.
Hmm.
Like, come on, you got 5 people in there, you got 6 people, like, and I know you see me and my message just sitting
Right.
there. Like, come on, bro. Like, that situation, yeah. But like, if people chat kind of flowing and moving, I can kind of see where they kind of don't see you, because hell, I know when I'm live, sometimes my chat can move and I just miss people. I'm gonna be honest, I just can't see people a lot of the times. You literally have to comment a lot for me to just finally be like, hey.
Yeah. 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 Like I ain't gonna lie. I that shit definitely happened to me before. I know what she talking about. There's times where you know when in certain chats and there was people in there, but everybody had already said they shit, and there might have been a few people coming there at the same time as me, and I was like, say what up to somebody, whatever the case. Like I know you see that I said what's up, and then because you can't miss the blue, especially when you got a wrench. Now, how you don't speak
Mhm.
to a motherfucker that got a wrench in your chat?
Yeah, that's wild. You gave me
That's
the fucking
different.
wrench.
That's different. I'm like, oh nah,
Yeah,
this
your
ain't
name
shit.
highlighted and shit. That's crazy.
I'm like, you need to take that shit. What you shoot? Yeah, I don't want that shit. Take that shit. Like, damn. You ain't got
But
no business like giving somebody a damn wrench if you feel like you can't speak to the motherfucker. But go ahead.
but now, like, I do agree. Some of that shit. It do be obvious though. It do be obvious that some people just don't want to talk to you, or and when you and for me, I'm just gonna say that for me, when I know it's obvious that people don't like me or they don't fool with me, I'm be honest. I just don't come go to your chat no more. I just chill. I'm good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm good for real.
Because we can like um misread misread energy. Like sometimes I be questioning if I do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I think I might have. There might be some situations where I might have misread the energy, but I kind of made this analogy earlier. It's like if your gut instinct is telling you, this is why I be saying act accordingly and shit. I really be doing that. I'm feeling like I'm going off of how I felt in that moment, what I thought, what based on what their action was at that moment. But then when you think back, sometimes it's like I wonder if I might have overreacted because I don't mind, owning up to some shit, saying, you know what, that's on me, my bad. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. But
but
a lot of people don't like taking that accountability, though.
man, and you said it right there, because I'm gonna be honest though. At least you sit up and you say, am I overreacting? Like, am I overreacting? At least you ask that question, because you got a lot of people who do certain stuff, and it's like, bruh, you're reaching. Like, you're reaching, and like you're doing too much. The thing is that when you are thinking something or you are feeling some type of way, I think the correct thing would to be is to ask yourself, like, am I overthinking this? Could it be this? Could it be that? I feel like give yourself certain situations or certain scenarios where, you know, could it be this? Could it be that? Do you think that in your mind? Because I know I do.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it be like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Because you could be tripping, and it's like, listen, I don't want to get it wrong, or I don't want to think a
Nah.
certain way, and it not be. So I want to make sure. So I think as people, we have to kind of do that too. We have to analyze a little bit and kind of say, could they
Mhm.
be doing this? Could they be doing that? Because sometimes, like, even when people be in chats and people be speaking and all of that, I give people grace when they, my bad. I say, I give people grace when sometimes they don't speak to me, because sometimes I feel like, hey, people could be doing stuff. Because I know me, in the middle of people's lives and stuff like that, yeah, I could be cooking. I could be, you know what I mean? Hey, I can't speak to everybody sometimes. You know, you got kids, you got this, you got everything going on. Life is life in
Yeah,
the middle of a live, you know what I'm saying? And people be feeling some type of way because people be like, oh, well, you didn't speak to me in the chat. Look, I'm over here washing dishes. I'm over here cooking. I'm over here trying to feed a child. You know, it just be a whole lot going on. Or I'm over here driving. You
multitasking.
know, yeah, I'm doing a whole lot. And I think people don't sometimes take that in account to certain things and they automatically just jump the gun and be like, oh, well, they ain't speaking to me. And I just think you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but fact of the matter is though, is when it's really meant to come off that way.
Oh, when it's meant, then that's a different story.
You know what I'm saying? That shit end up building up and shit. I don't know, man. Like, it's stupid shit, man. I don't like that preaching shit. You know what I mean? Folks be preaching like they got every detail of the universe figured out and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where this you can't give any uh phone trying to go off the hook and shit. I'm talking about people where you can't tell them anything. You can't give them advice on anything. They got it all figured out. And it's
Yeah.
you gotta be on some type of pedestal when you actually take offense to it. Everything is no, I got it. No, I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like shutting down anything anybody else got to say, whatever, because they think they got everything figured out.
They know everything.
Yeah.
Them
Like,
the type of people you stay away from. Even I know I would. I would.
yeah, like if I come on, like if I go live, like come on here, which I try not to do too much, but like again, motherfuckers paying that stream yard, so I got to pop out sometimes and shit. But I'm open to all of that shit, man. Like I ain't bigger than nobody, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it's a double edged sword, basically. You know what I'm saying? This internet shit. You know what I mean? But I'm about to. I told folks what I was getting ready to start doing. Like I took a break from it, but I'm about to go back to my damn battle rap shit. Like, which probably not gonna be going live like that because I don't need to go live to do that type of content. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I was in my lane. That's where like all my views and shit was coming from. But I just took a break from it because of some shit that was going on with the guidelines and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But once I do that, it's just gonna be all the bullshit behind me, all the negative shit behind me. You know what I'm saying? If I choose to stay on here like that, because god damn. Do me a favor, hold it down for like 10 seconds for me. Let me just take this real quick, please.
Word. I got you. I got you. Yeah, but I mean, I've had my little share of things going on this app or whatever, But I don't know. I feel like some things need to be addressed and some things don't need to be addressed because it's a lot of shit on this app that I see and I see people doing that I don't say much on. I just let it go. I see what you're doing, but it don't even be worth my time to even address. You know what I mean? Because it just don't even be that serious for me. I have a lot of other shit going on. It's just not that serious for me. But I see the shadiness. I see what's going on. But for the most part, I let it go. But now, if it's something that I really, really, and I'm talking about really need to address, I definitely will address it. And I feel like everybody else should, because especially when somebody tries to portray you a certain way, I feel like, or put an agenda out there, right? Like put something out there on you that's totally straight false. I feel like it's time for you to speak up or say something. Definitely, for sure. You know, don't let nobody just run with a narrative about you, and especially if it's not true. Because that's when I'm definitely gonna speak up about it. But all this other little stuff that people be playing, all these other little games, I see people do. I just kind of let them do what they do. I don't be worried about it too much because it don't be that serious for me.
For sure, for sure. Appreciate you. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, but
But
I'm just
if you say my name, I'm damn sure addressing it.
yeah.
Don't say my fucking name.
That's a
I'm
little
telling you
bit.
that right now.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. That's the only exception. That's the only, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what the case was in this situation because the name wasn't, like you say, the name wasn't really needed to be said because, I already know the deal in this specific situation. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, so what is it? Is it the white flag or is it the green flag? Is it the green light or is it the white flag? Which one? Because I'm still working on myself. I ain't all the way. I'm not too big to address a motherfucker. I ain't there yet. Not 100%. Shout out to Shay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you be saying some good stuff about leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like the positive talk and all that. I love all that talk, and I try to promote that shit as best as I can. But I'm still a nigga who came from the hood and shit. So I ain't all the way
Mhm.
there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the fact, and this is the shit this is what I love is the fact that you realize that you like, oh, I like that positive shit, I like all that, but I'm just a dude from the hood, and I'm just not all the way there yet. I like people like that because see now we can go somewhere. You understand who you are, where you at, and all that. The people that I can't f with is the people that act like they perfect or they ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? They act the opposite, like how you saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fool with you then because you know what I mean. There's no room for growth. There's no room for you to realize that hey, I'm not this perfect person or I'm not like this. There. So you get what I'm saying?
Nah, everything you're saying, you're right. I concur. I definitely concur. Shay said I can still pop off if necessary. Yeah, um, and that's what I was saying earlier. People think if you being nice and all that shit, because
Right.
everybody who know me, I give everybody respect, man. I don't be trying to do all that shit like that. But there are some people who take that shit and they feel like they can take advantage of that, But that's just life in general. But
Definitely.
you
People
know,
do that.
yeah,
Especially if you nice, people do feel like they can run over you.
yeah, like am I honestly out off of this app? There's more edge to me than on here. But when I'm on here and I'm actually trying to like do content and shit, I try to present it in a way. I told people I could switch up a few ways. I could be hood. I could be because like I said, I come from the hood, so I got the thug and the hood in me and shit. But when I come on here and I'm trying to do content, I try to speak in a way where motherfuckers like, oh, I like what he talking about. He makes sense, like the way you know what I'm saying. Like I try to present it in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? People think there's like one side of you and shit when you say things like, "Oh, he come from the hood, so he only know how to talk and put it one way." So I try to prove people wrong about that shit because you see certain comments and things like that, especially when I was doing the battle rap thing. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't think what people realize there are layers to people.
hmm
And you feel like you get on this app and you know people, you don't really know people, bro. Like I don't care how much you watch somebody on a video, you don't know them. You know? You don't know them. That you see a certain layer of them, but there's so many, I think, different layers to people. So many different aspects to people
yeah,
that you can't fully just look at a video of somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, I know them." Like, no, you don't.
yeah, like anybody that listen to me, you gonna hear a little bit of you gonna hear a little bit of the nigga come out sometimes, half of the time, but then the other times, yeah, like I got sense, I got common sense, I know how to pronounce my words and all that shit, I ain't no dumb motherfucker, nothing like that, you know. It's not got nothing to do with proving nothing to nobody, but when you on a platform, and you never know who come across these videos and shit. You just act like you got some sense. That's all. You try to have some etiquette about yourself. That's all it is. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
For sure. Well, I'm gonna get down. It was nice chit chat. I just came up here to mess with you a little bit. I was really just messing with you because I was like, oh yeah, I got something to say.
Yeah, I'm like, not now. Now ain't the time.
Right.
Don't
You
get me there.
like, hey,
You know what I'm
come up here
saying?
then. I get on
Mhm.
your head. You got something to say.
Nah,
I'm up here trying to play around and you really serious.
nah, I wasn't really serious like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't anybody worry about you. Anybody worry about you.
You was serious though about your little situation, but I helped you out because I let you. Now you done talked it off. You good, huh? You straight
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you can see, because I was getting ready to
You
end
feel
it.
you didn't calm down.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get twisted. I was already calm, you know what I'm saying? But I was serious about the whole, I was on some speak now forever hold your peace type shit. Cause I was like, I'm gonna delete this shit after. So I'm like, let me extend this invitation one more time before I get my ass up off here. So nobody can say that I was bullshitting about nothing. I said, it is what it is. But which I knew that link wasn't gonna get hit. I mean, of course you hit it, but you
I
know,
hit the link.
yeah,
What's up?
yeah.
Nah, let me stop.
But but on some real shit, when there's really something to be addressed, most people ain't not gonna do that because when you're talking about
Yeah,
like,
most people ain't about their life because they
yeah,
want the drama. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes just let it go. Don't even worry about it. You have to just chalk it up as if they a hater. They wanted to hate from the get go. They never wanted to talk and straighten it out. Some people just never want to talk and straighten shit out. You know what I mean? They just wanted to be a hater. And they saw an angle that they could get at, and that was their way of, going against you or whatever.
yeah,
And so they just chose that.
and
Then again, you got some people who will come to you or who will hit the link and wanna resolve the situation. Cause they really did feel some type of way. They really did think this or that. You know what I mean? So they really are gonna get up there and say how they feel in certain shit. But a lot of the times, man, people be sitting there befriending you, and then they look for a reason to go against you. That's just really what it is. And the whole time they sitting there hating on you, feeling insecure.
ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a
That's
bitch?
not my fault. You know what I mean? That you feel this type of way. Like, that's crazy to me. But people would do that. People would sit up there, and you got people who will uplift you, befriend you, uplift you, make you feel good, and then try to bring you down.
Uplift you, and then when they get the chance, snatch that cape off your ass. It's
Snatch it
crazy.
right off for you. Yeah, sure will.
But in conclusion, I just, my thing is this, people just be careful with y'all words, man. If it's not really like, it's either this way or it's that way. It can't be both ways. If it ain't no issue, then leave it as that. If it's something that need to be said, it can be addressed. You know what I'm saying? But act accordingly. Like I always say, there's a reason I be saying that because of shit like this. You know what I'm saying? People get sick of me saying it, but I'm gonna keep saying it because people prove me right of why I push that phrase so much. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it is, man. Oh, her punk ass done dropped down already and shit. But I appreciate y'all listening to me talk and all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? I said I was going to delete this shit after the fact, whatever. But like I always say, act accordingly, man. Sometimes you got to really think about the shit you be saying before you get on the platform and say it. You know what I mean? Because for every action, it's a reaction, and that's the thing about these type of situations. Any situation, whether good or bad, whether you understand, like it's just a reaction for everything. Give and receive, man. Give and receive. And so, you know what I'm saying? But let me get my ass up off of here. I think I am going to delete this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all be easy, man. Act accordingly. I'm going to keep saying that shit too. All right, I'm gone, man.